What's going on, fellas? It's Tyler here, bringing you the introduction to my franchise in Madden 17. So if you watched my channel introduction, you would know that my final three teams that I was deciding between were the Tennessee Titans, Chicago Bears, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So today we are getting started in franchise mode, and I'm very excited to be getting this content out to you guys. I feel like franchise is going to be very fun to play and edit down to get up on YouTube for you guys. And here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get into this quickly. As you see, the team I've decided to choose is the Chicago Bears. Taking a quick look at the league settings, we're going to be playing on all Madden. We're going to go ahead and turn the coach firing off, keeping everything pretty much normal out here. Quarter length, we're going to go ahead and throw that on 12 minutes. I've seen people play on 10 as well as 11 and 13 and 15. We're going to rock with 12. With the 19-second accelerated clock. Fill roster off. You gotta make sure that we are all under control with this team. And there's the rest of the settings for you right there. We're gonna go ahead and get started now. I'm just gonna do a coach, not an owner or whatever. We're gonna go ahead and stick with John Fox, and we're gonna go ahead and get into this. So before we look at the roster, we're going to look at the injury report. I am using pre-existing injuries. Kevin White is a huge one right there. I used to love watching him at West Virginia. It'd be nice to get him back in the next season to complement Alshon Jeffrey out there on the outside. Lamar Houston, another big blow right there, as well as Kyle Fuller, our best corner, and Connor Shaw does not really matter. So taking a look at this roster, we're going to see the offense here. Quick little look at the depth chart as we start this franchise. Jay Cutler is someone I plan on moving very soon. I do not want him on this team, and I'm not going to hide that fact, but we're going to have to rock with him for the first season because, you know, his salary and all that good stuff. But I like our wide receivers and running backs, a nice young team, see what we can do. On the defensive side, we have a very nice front seven, but the secondary scares me a lot. So looking at the NFC North, little outlook on the division here. We are in the same division as the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, and the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think the Vikings and Packers will finish atop the division, and the Lions and Bears will miss out on the playoffs. Obviously, the Bears probably not going to do too great, and we're going to go ahead and look into the schedule now. As preseason, we start off facing the Broncos, then we head to New England to take on the Patriots, and then we play against the Kansas City Chiefs, and finish off the preseason in Cleveland, taking on the Browns. So now we're going to go ahead and look at the regular season, but before we look at the schedule here, our bye week is week 9, and I just want to touch on that real quick. I like that a lot. I love the bye week being in the middle of the season rather than at the beginning or at the end. Right in the middle of week 9, I like that. Good bye week right there. Now we're going to go ahead and check this out. Looking at this schedule, we're going to go ahead and, you know, predict what we think is going to happen in this season. And I'm going to go ahead and say I'm hoping for at least 4 wins, but I think realistically we could get to 5. But honestly, 4 is the goal for right now. As you see, our schedule is kind of tough. You know, playing the Packers and Vikings twice a year is not going to be too fun. Now we're going to be looking into some free agents. We need to address the left tackle position. We're going to go ahead and look at Eugene Monroe. And he's an 81 overall at age 29. He's still not too old, but he's also not very young, if you ask me. I like his strength at 86. That is very nice right there. All of his all of his attributes, I should say, look pretty good, and I definitely would like to sign him and insert him in the starting lineup right away. See what he can do with this Chicago Bears team. Next, we will look at the center position, as one of our backup centers is injured just for the first season, maybe even longer. So we're going to go ahead and pick up another one, as the only center that is not injured on our team is not very good. So we're going to go ahead and sign Dalton Freeman. 89 strength is very good looking right there. I like his 78 run block. We need to get that pass block up, though. That's the only thing I'm worried about, as we are going to be a team that wants to pass and run the ball pretty equally. Obviously, we might have to pass the ball quite a bit. Now looking at right end, we're going to go ahead and look at Werner. I like that he's a speed rusher off the edge. That's what I want, so we can get pressure on the quarterback. I'm going to be trying to get lots of sacks this season. So we're going to go ahead and sign Werner and see what he can do in this preseason to see if he can get on this team and make an impact. Also at right end, we're going to go ahead and look at Josh Boyd. He has 89 strength, which is very nice. I like that a lot. You see his speed is down a little bit, but he is more of a run stopper at that right end position. He's a 310-pound guy, so we could even knock him down into defensive tackle, but most likely wouldn't happen as we are in a 3-4 defense. Remember that. So check out his block shedding at 78 and power moves at 81. Looking pretty good. We're going to go ahead and sign Josh Boyd and give him a chance in this preseason, see if he can make a spot on this roster. Next up, one of my favorite projects I'm going to be looking at this preseason is Lamar Woodley. He's listed as the outside linebacker, and that is, his position. He's getting into the latter part of the season, so definitely going to see what we can do with him. And we're going to go ahead and give him snaps at the defensive end positions during the preseason. I really think I might go ahead and go with that option. As long as he does good in the preseason, we'll see what he can do. For passing downs, definitely going to look at putting him in for formation subs and whatnot, because he could definitely help get to the quarterback and force some sacks, maybe even some turnovers. We'll see how he does in the preseason at that defensive end spot. Now looking at defensive tackle, we have Sammy Hill here, age 29, pretty big boy. With the 3-4 defense, we need a big boy down up there in the middle. 86 strength is looking good. I like the 84 block shedding. That makes up for his terrible finesse moves, but that makes sense as he is bigger. His power moves are at 76. Play recognition at 81 is something I like seeing, definitely. So we're going to go ahead and sign Sammy Hill and see what he can do for us in this preseason. Also at defensive tackle, we're going to take a look at Terrence Cody. If you guys are college football fans, I'm sure you remember this guy out of Alabama. Very big boy down there at the defensive tackle spot. We're going to go ahead and sign him. Look at that 97 strength, 89 block shedding. That's ridiculous. We will definitely be inserting him to our lineup to try and stop the run and goal line situations. And also we're going to look at Mike Martin, 26 years old, a little bit undersized at defensive tackle, but we're still going to see what he can do in this preseason, see if he can make the roster. 87 strength looks good. I like the 76 speed and the 84 acceleration from the defensive tackle spot. So if we want some speed at the tackle spot as opposed to the strength, we can go ahead and throw Mike Martin into the lineup. So we'll see how he does in the preseason. With Kyle Fuller injured for more than just the first season, we definitely need to address the corner position as we are very weak over there. So looking at K'Wan Williams, he's got 87 speed and 91 acceleration. That is very good right there. 82 man coverage isn't too bad, as I like running man coverage, and I'm more worried about corners man than their zone. So we're going to go ahead and sign him. And next, we will also be looking at Keenan Lewis. Had a few good years with the Pittsburgh Steelers as well as the New Orleans Saints. He had one pretty good year. Then he got injured, and he hasn't really been the same since then. But, still productive. At age 30, we're going to go ahead and give him a chance. Might as well, as we are very weak at the corner position, as I said. So we're going to go ahead and sign Keenan Lewis to our roster. Also at corner, we're going to be looking at D. Milner. And honestly, might not keep him on the roster. My main thing is looking at his speed and acceleration at 91 and 93. We are going to throw him in for some punt returns during this preseason to see what he can do with that. If he plays good at corner, we will keep him and play him only at the nickel. And we'll see how he does returning punts in the preseason, see if he can make a spot for himself on this team. Now looking at strong safety, we're going to go ahead and look at the 31-year-old Ryan Mundy. And I like, 82 speed at age 31 isn't too bad. 85 acceleration helps him a lot. 87 hit power, he can hit hard. So we're going to go ahead and sign him and see if he can make the roster, as he is going to be battling it out against Bakari Rambo, as you see right there on the screen. Bakari Rambo, another guy that I like a lot, the hard hitter out of Georgia. I'm sure you guys remember watching him blow up in college. 86 speed, definitely better than Ryan Mundy. But we're going to see how those two fare in the preseason, and we will only be keeping one of those players on the roster. So whoever does better and fits our defensive scheme will get the spot. We're going to check out the sliders here to finish off the introduction to this Chicago Bears franchise. Now, I did base these off of Mr. Hurricanes, so I'm sure you guys all know who that is. And we're gonna see. I did make a few changes on these. I have the fumbles down a lot because I've seen people fumbling a lot in videos. So also the CPU skill, remember some of their stuff that's down is also down for the user. So yeah, that is about it for me today. We are going to wrap up this introduction, and hit that subscribe button if you are excited for this series and if you want to stay tuned for more. Next, we will have the preseason recap, as you will see all the players that make the team, as well as who's going to be starting for us. And yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. I appreciate that a lot. Leave a comment of your thoughts on the video. And yeah, that's going to do it. I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.